with a lot of dope beats and steps. So I hope you guys are having a phenomenal start to your year. You guys know that we kicked off the purge last week. Listen, hit the ground running with it. My clients was like, oh, you're not even gonna baby step us into it? No, Sherlock. So for those of you who are catching me for the first time, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Those who are catching the replay, make sure that you let me know where you're catching the replay from, so that way I can come and high five you in the comments and thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. It was a little rough this morning, y'all. It was a little rough. So for whatever reason, uh it was not coming through this morning. It just was not. But that's okay, because we here now, boss. And with that being said, make sure that you tell a friend to tell a friend, so that way they can come and get this message, because the trust starts with you. The trust starts with you. And I know that many of you have already, well, I won't even say many. Some of you, good morning. Some of you have already started your new year, new me. Some of you have already started um, being able to go and do, uh, you know, New Year's resolutions. Some of you have already started putting down your SMART goals. You started putting down all of this stuff, and I'm like, yes, I'm here for it. But there is something that we have to talk about. Do you trust in yourself that you can make it happen? I need you to ask that question of yourself. Now, I won't tell y'all business, I just tell mine. So I won't even ask y'all to put it in the comments. But years prior, I did not trust in the dream that I was trying to achieve. I did not trust in what it was that I said I could do. How many of y'all have ever had to deal with that? Where you kind of go, okay, well, I think I can. I think I can, but I don't really trust it 100%. Hey, Lorvell, happy new year to you. I see you over there in the hashtag World Voice League community. I appreciate you chiming in. So I think I can do it, but I didn't trust in the process. I didn't trust in my ability to really be able to see it through. So here's the thing, and I'm going to test your trust this morning. So I need y'all to share it out. I need y'all to tell a friend to tell a friend, because I'm going to test your trust of yourself this morning. How many of you still have the manual for appliances and things in your home that you've already been using? Come on, come on, come on, come on. How many of you? Oh, thank you for subscribing, Elaine. I appreciate it. But how many of you still have the manual for appliances, for your laptop, for things that you've been using for years, and you're still holding on to the manual? I can tell you, as part of my purge, I was cleaning out my office, and I'm the mom, I'm that person, I'm that woman that will go and put the manual for something when we get a new product or we get something new. I'll put the manual in a special spot in case we need it. How many of you are holding on to the manual in case you need it? And I'm about to take it to a whole nother level, so I need you to make sure that you tune in all the way in this morning. How many of you? Look, Lorvell said, I do. Listen. And so I found myself really, really looking at some things and saying, Houston, we have a problem. Because I was holding on to manuals for things that I was already comfortable in using. Come on. Hey, Pamela. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you, sis. Thank you for joining us over on the Haps.tv community. How many of you have manuals for your toaster? How many of you have manuals for your microwave? And it's going to hurt when y'all really get to thinking about this. Why are you still holding on to the manual? Real talk. Why are you still holding on to the manual? Why is it so significant for you to hold on and have a space? Because see, we don't just hold on to the manual. Hello, come on, listen, come on, hello, Elaine, hello, how are you? We don't just go ahead and hold on to it, but we got a space for it. We got a space for it. We don't just hold on to the manual. We make space for the manual. And we make space for the manual because we don't trust that we are confident enough that we can handle it if something happens. And so the manual is there just in case. Can I tell y'all something? That some of you did a vision board, but you didn't trust in yourself to let go of the manuals that you have on your laptop, the stuff that you have on your phone. Come on. Come on. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. You did not listen, you did not get to the point in your head where you said, I'm confident enough to do this on my own. And so instead of you saying, I'm confident enough to do this on my own, you still holding on to the manual. How many? How many? See, this is the thing. This morning, I know somebody needed this morning. That's why I was having so many issues with trying to get on. But I told y'all know I don't, sit back and say, oh, well, I'm just not going to go live. No, I'm going to push the button again, and I'm going to push the button again, and I'm going to push the button again, because somebody needs the information. Somebody needs the motivation and inspiration that I bring to the platform, that I bring when I speak and I open my mouth. When I become unmuted, I'm teaching somebody something. I'm encouraging somebody. I'm impacting the world in some way. And so I had to understand that part of the reason why I did not reach my goals was because I still had trust issues when it came to me. This going to go a little deep for y'all on this Monday motivation. Listen, it's going to go a little deep for you. For those of you who are just coming in, I may step on a few toes. I apologize, but not really though. I may catch you off guard a little bit. You may need a tissue or two, but that is a-okay. Because what I found out is that when we don't trust ourselves, then we cannot execute at our highest level. When we do not trust ourselves, we cannot execute on the goals and strategy that we have. Some of you have $1 million strategy, but you don't trust yourself to really make $1 million. Some of you have $1 million ideas. And matter of fact, I won't even go that far. I'll say some of you have $10,000 ideas, but you don't trust yourself enough to implement it and make that $10,000. Come on. Come on. You don't trust yourself enough to implement what you need to implement in order for you to make that $10,000, in order for you to launch and make that $1,000, in order for you to write the book. I don't know if y'all hearing me this morning. Do you trust yourself enough? Now, y'all know I never just come to you and give you the aha moments and the inspiration, but I'm going to give you some practical things that you need to do in order for you to trust yourself a little bit more. Because I have to trust myself if I'm going to succeed. I have to trust myself. See, this is the thing. Some of you put more trust in who you used to be than you do in who you are. I don't know if y'all heard that this morning. I don't know if you heard it. I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to repeat it just in case. Some of you put more trust in who you used to be than you do in who you actually are. Can we be honest? You're not that little girl anymore. Y'all gonna get this good word this morning, right? You're not that little girl anymore. You're not that startup entrepreneur anymore. Some of y'all still looking at yourselves as you're still a startup. Guess what? You're not. You're not that first time speaker anymore. Come on. Look. You're not that first time author anymore. You broke through that first time. So now that you have broken through that first time, I need you to upgrade the trust that you have in yourself. And there's some things that you really need to tap into. So if you're saying right now, well, I don't understand why I don't trust myself. Let's break it down. Whose plan are you following? See, I trust myself more now because I know I'm not following my plan. I'm following the plan that God laid out for my life. I'm in communication with Him. When we've made bad decisions in the past and we failed at something and something didn't turn out the way we thought it was going to turn out, and things didn't work, we didn't make the money we thought we were going to make, there is a level of distrust that we have within ourselves that we can actually achieve our goals. Now, for some of you, you again, I'm not going to tell y'all business. I'll just tell mine. And so I had a barrier that I had to break because of failed business deals in the past, because of opportunities that were missed. I had a barrier that I had to break in order for me to be able to say, I'm not that person anymore. I trust that I can actually achieve my goals. I trust that I can actually see my dreams come to fruition. I trust that I can actually go the distance. See, here's the thing, is sometimes when you trust in you, your trust is not even in what you can physically do. Y'all better come on this morning. My trust goes beyond what I can physically do. Because it's easy to trust what I think I can do or what I've done in the past, right? It's easy to trust that I can run a marathon if I've already ran one. But we lose that trust because we still holding on to the manual thinking, I didn't. And here's where one of the pieces of mistrust comes from, because you didn't do it the way other people did it. And so you don't trust yourself to be able to duplicate it. Or when you did it, somebody said, oh, you were lucky. No, I'm not lucky. And I need y'all to say this out loud to yourself and put it down below. I'm not lucky. I'm blessed. I'm anointed. I'm positioned for purpose. I need y'all to get back to y'all confessions that you were saying over yourselves at one time. I'm not lucky. I'm blessed. I'm not lucky. I'm a king's kid. I'm not lucky. I put in the work. I execute on a consistent basis. I'm not lucky. I'm dedicated. Get back to understanding. Come on. Come on. Come on, Elaine. I am not lucky. I am blessed. Get back to understanding who it is that you are. Get back to trusting the God in you. Get back to trusting the plan that God had for you. Do you trust Jeremiah 29:11 or do you not? Point blank, period. Either I trust it or I don't. For me, I had to say, for it was Psalms 34:4 in the Message. God met me more than halfway. He freed me from my anxious fears. Do I trust that He freed me from my anxious fears or not? If I trust that He's freed me from my fears, then what am I doing holding on to the manual for something that I've already used? See, the only manual we need is the Word of God because we don't know that one by heart. But some of y'all right now are holding on to the manual for your microwave as if you don't know how to use it, as if you'll forget how to program the clock, as if you're forgetting how to program the timer. This morning, I don't know what platform you may be catching me on. I don't know if this may be the first time that you've ever seen me live or catching my replay, but I need you to go and do a purge. Something that we do in the first quarter of 2020 in the World Voice League, we do a purge and we do a deep down purge, not just that cute little, ooh, go through your emails. Yay. Unsubscribe from 5 emails. No, no, no. We purge in a major way. And I'm about to show you a piece of what that purge looks like. I need you to go wherever you have your manuals for your toaster, your laptop. Some of y'all got manuals that you've been holding on to for things that you don't even have anymore. And I need you to throw them away. I need you to throw them away. I need you to trust that the thing that you have, you can use it and you don't need the manual anymore for that particular thing. Because, see, what we're doing is, and I need somebody to catch this, what you are doing is you are cluttering your space for what you actually need. You are cluttering the space for what you actually need. You are cluttering your area for what you actually need. And because you're cluttering your area, you cannot reach that level of success because you don't have space for it. You don't have space for it. Do you trust that you know how to use your toaster? Come on. Do you trust that you know how to use your toaster? So why are you still holding on to the manual? Some of you, your laptop is broke down, busted, and disgusted. It's time for you to get a new laptop. But you still got the manual for the one you've been using for the last 6 years. You don't trust yourself to be able to use it? Why are you holding place and space for things that you've already used, that you've already become an expert at? And here it is again. We think that we don't trust in ourselves that we are the expert at something. I need y'all to be bold this morning. What are you the expert at? And don't question it. Don't second guess it. What are you the expert at? Don't second guess it. What is it that you do well? What is it that you've been doing for years? We get so comfortable in thinking that we're not good enough, so much so that we turn a blind eye to what it is that we can actually do. What are you the literally? Come on. What are you the expert at? Think about that. And I won't, again, y'all know I don't tell y'all business. I just tell mine. Thank you for those of you who've been sharing out the broadcast. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for those who have been commenting. I appreciate y'all. But this is more than just you sharing. This is more than just you sending up some hearts and likes. This is you changing the trajectory of your legacy, because for so long you've taken the class, you've read the book, you've gotten a strategy, you've done the vision board, you've written the SMART goals, but you have not reached success. You have not achieved the things that you've written down. And it's because you still don't trust yourself enough to fully dive in to what it is that you said you were going to do. So your task today, not tomorrow, not next week, your task today is to go look through all of those manuals you have and throw them out. If you still got a manual for the toaster, I need you to get rid of that. If you got manuals for things that you don't even use, I need you to get rid of that. We are not going to be hoarders in this year. I told y'all, I knew why the broadcast wouldn't start and why I was having so many issues. It's because somebody needed this morning. And even if they don't get it this morning, they're going to get it this afternoon. They're going to get it this evening. They're going to get it this week. And this will be the week where they stop doubting themselves. This will be the week that you stop doubting yourself. This will be the week that you trust your abilities. This will be the week that you trust your mindset. This will be the week that you trust yourself enough to go the distance. This will be the week that you trust enough. Can I tell y'all something? And then I'll give you a breakdown of how you can rebuild that trust. When it comes to trusting yourself, it's not dependent upon you learning another thing sometimes. I teach this to my clients all the time. It's not dependent upon you learning something new or you doing something new all the time. Sometimes it's dependent upon you showing up in what you already have. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. For those of you that are saying, you know what, I think I need this full on purge, go ahead, get the book, bit.ly/the purge ebook. Get the book, get the replay of the download. It's an audio and a video. Get it. Go ahead and do this purge. And the reason we do the purge over 3 months is because, again, well, in the accountability membership, we go through and purge it all. We purge through your home, your office, everything, business, everything. But through the ebook, you'll purge through some really important things when it comes to you being able to set your business on a path for success. If you are carrying things, how are you supposed to receive what you need for this year? You out here looking like the bag lady. Come on. What Erica say? Bag lady, you got too much stuff. Carrying all them bags around. Listen, you out here carrying baggage. Carrying baggage that you don't need to carry. Carrying things and past hurts that you don't need to carry. Listen, we can go deep if you wanna. I ain't gonna go deep on y'all though. But I need you to understand. I need to let go of things in order to make space for the success I said I wanted to achieve this year. How many of you have already done your vision boards and your SMART goals? How many of you have already put things down on paper that you want to achieve this year? Some of you may not have put anything new down. You may just be looking at what you had for last year and saying, if I couldn't do it last year, I'm going to do it this year. How many of you have set some goals? Setting those goals was step one. So when it comes to being able to trust yourself, I'm going to take you through 3 steps. Number 1 is you got to forgive yourself. You got to forgive yourself for saying yes when you should have said no. You got to forgive yourself for saying no when you should have said yes. You've got to forgive yourself for having bad money relationships. You got to forgive yourself for having bad business deals. You got to forgive yourself. Can I tell y'all something? 2021 is not the year for you to be walking around with a chip on your shoulder. You will be blinded to the opportunities available to you. 2021 is not the year for you to come on. I need y'all to understand this. It is not the year for you to walk around with a chip on your shoulder. It's the year for you to trust you. It's the year for you to trust you. Yeah, go ahead, get the purge, take care of that so that way you can clear out the things and make space. But we got to have this trust first and foremost. So, number 1 is I got to forgive myself. Number 2, and this is going to be a hurtful piece, is I got to look at the plan that I have on paper and actually say, is this plan my plan or is it somebody else's plan? Is this the plan that God has for me? Or is this the plan that I saw some guru say that I should use? One of the things that I found in my journey is that there is no cookie cutter. Everybody is going to act and interact and react differently. But there are some key things that we can take on this journey and move forward with that are powerful things. But if we don't trust ourselves enough, we'll just try to parrot or duplicate what we see somebody else doing. Hey, Frazier, coming in from Edinburgh. How are you? We'll just parrot what we see somebody else doing. And we don't need to parrot what we see other people doing. Guess what? You are amazing. You are amazing. Thank you for that super heart, Frazier. I appreciate you. You are amazing. Understand your strengths. So, number 1, I have to forgive myself. Number 2, I got to realize, what plan do I really have on paper? Is it my plan or is it a plan that I just kind of took from somebody else? Come on. Oh my goodness, are y'all Frasier? And that, you know what? Wow. Frasier just said, and it goes right. Look, this is the thing. So, Frasier, I love that you're here because I can actually give them a real live example of this. 2020 was a year where we had a lot going through, and Frasier just put it into the comments that Scotland is back on full lockdown. 2020 was a year that was we didn't know what was going to happen. We did not have a plan for it. Our plans that we did have got kind of shangled and finangled. But the reality is that when you trust in your own abilities, you're able to accomplish some things. And so while Frasier was in lockdown, Frasier started making soaps. While Frasier was in lockdown, all natural soaps. And mind you, Frasier has his own company. He has his own company. He has a company, a cleaning service company that he's been doing. How long have you been in business, Frasier? He has a business already. But when you trust in your creativity and you trust in your ability to make things happen, then you'll understand. And, everybody's been overusing the word pivot, but you'll be able to adjust. Frasier published several books. He just said it. He's been in business for over 11 years. Frasier published books during the pandemic. Frasier started making his own soaps, natural soaps, during the pandemic. Again, there has to be a level of trust in who you are and what you either have learned or what you already know. Because some of y'all, you could have been doing things while everything was shut down. You could have made those adjustments, but because you did not trust yourself enough, you had the idea to do it, but you didn't execute. Exactly. And Frasier said it. It's been hard. But he trusted in himself enough to say, let me at least try. When you look at your goals from 2020, did you trust yourself enough to say, I'm going to try in the midst of a pandemic? As you look at 2021, do you trust yourself enough to say, I can try something new? I can execute at a higher level. I can provide a service that is unique. I can go and have premium services. Do you trust in yourself enough to try? Oh my goodness, just understanding that. Frasier, I don't know if you're busy at the moment. Okay, this is my first time inviting somebody to the broadcast, but I'm going to invite you. Oh, wait. Did I do that right? I don't know. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think I did that right. Y'all know I love, for those, a quick commercial break for those that do not know, we are on haps.tv. That's haps.tv. And it allows you to bring people into the broadcast. Y'all know that was one of the things that we were no longer allowed to do over on Facebook. Hey, Frasier.
How's it going?
How are you doing today? Oh, wait, let me take my.
Well, considering Scotland has just had the news from our First Minister to saying that Scotland's on lockdown from midnight tonight until the end of January. Well, potentially the end of January because of this new variant. So, and one of my clients has now had to physically close this time around. So it's obviously I can't, because my work is physical. I'm not going to be cleaning an office until they have to reopen, which is a bit of a, yes, it's not ideal, but hey, aye, you think when things are slowly getting better, yes, it is brutal, I have to say, and it's been hard. And the stuff you've been talking about, I have tried things, and yes, it's been a challenge to say the least. But trying to be as best I can. Never mind. Yes, how are you doing anyway? Apart from mine, yes, nightmare of 2020 continuing into 2021. You couldn't really make it up, could you? Your audio's gone. Your audio's gone this side. That's the joys of, I think Haps are having a few interesting glitches. Bannerman, how you doing? Yeah. Yeah, your audio's gone for some reason. I don't know why. It's weird. Come back in.
Okay, are you able to hear me now?
Got you now. Perfect.
All right. Y'all know we listen, we learning as we going along. But I definitely I had to bring you on because I know, like I said, I personally know, I've known Fraser for a couple years now. Fraser is another podcaster. Shout out to the podcasters in the community. And you get to see the journey of someone. You get to see the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs. But Fraser is somebody who's very transparent about his journey. And like I said, 2020 for all of us was kind of crazy. It's been a shift. But with his business, because it is a business where he goes into other businesses and he's cleaning and he's doing different things, when everything shuts down,
yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't clean somebody's toilet from my own house, unfortunately, but it doesn't quite work.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
now, one thing I want to ask you though, Fraser, because I got to see you do the soaps and the books, and what would you say is one thing that really allowed you to be able to say, you know what, I really can do something else? Let me at least try.
Well, I tried the soaps. I mean, I suppose that's something I can always started doing. It's just simple melt and pour stuff, and it helped with Zakia Ringgold. She's the one that was kind of just thought I'd give it a bash and start with the basics, you know. Just yeah, I mean, she does the problem. If it's just melt easy kind of stuff to see what happens, I can easily. I also started making candles as well, which wasn't too bad. Candles are a bit more easier, which is pretty good. So I ordered a lot of sort of scents and things. So candles are quite easy to do. But I started doing that. I mean, that's and also I just started doing KDP publishing because my friend Pam Gomez did it and eventually started registering with that kind of thing. And just even if it's just low content books, planners, diaries. I did a prayer book, creating the prayer habit. I actually physically wrote stuff. I wrote actually a little bit at the beginning of it, and then the rest is more for people doing it themselves, and it's got Bible verses on each page, and it's just a 21-day thing, but it's got a continuous bit afterwards that people can carry on, you know. So I just did a lot. It's nothing. It's pretty simple, you know, but just to try and if somebody might like it. Yeah, you start at the basics and you kind of work up, and who knows, I might actually get a full book. Who knows? But yeah, it's starting. It's just something to try and while you're going through a bit of a famine, you think of other ways to try and make some cash somewhere or money somewhere, and you just go from there. That's all you can do, and you just from being. I have to admit, it's very difficult motivating because when you're gone from being constantly on the go with your cleaning business and running around daft, you're kind of gone from almost feeling like a glass half full, and I cannot, you know, you've got things to do, but you're sitting there just going, I can't even, you're just not moving. You just cannot physically do it. And it's hard, it's brutal. And the mental health part, even though they're saying stay indoors and protect the hospitals, protect the health service, but when this blows over, the mental health, the people who are struggling with mental health and other things that have been put on hold are just going to overload the hospitals on the other end. So it's it's banging your head against a brick wall half the time at the moment. So, but what can we do? Just you never think a pandemic of the whole world, but it's just it's the Nightmare on Elm Street.
It's definitely been a crazy experience, and especially when you talk about the mental health, because so many people were going through things before the pandemic hit, and then that time of having to be quarantined by yourself, if you didn't have family members and friends that you were quarantined with, not being able to see your loved ones, having family members that passed away and not being able to attend the funeral. And I mean, it was just craziness. And so in a time when everything was topsy-turvy, literally getting back to that point of saying, I got to be able to trust myself, even if it's just baby steps. Let's be honest. I'm not saying that you're going to trust yourself tomorrow to run a marathon. Matter of fact, if you ain't been practicing or training for a marathon, please don't try to run one tomorrow.
Well, firstly, the gyms are closed, which is a bit annoying.
Right?
Yeah, but help the health. Close all the gyms. Great. Okay.
Don't try that tomorrow, but can you trust yourself enough to try something today? Try the smallest of things.
The things anyway. I've actually got physics editing a bit. I created a kind of, because I do fantasy football or fantasy soccer more. I created a book for fantasy football soccer strategists for when they do fantasy soccer football during the course of which is something different. So I created that. I've just been playing around with stuff. It's quite nice now, but I think KDP have been a bit slow in publishing things, so it's been a bit annoying. So when you put something out, you're like, it'll take about 3 days to kind of publish. It takes about 4 weeks. You're thinking, oh, crumbs. But eventually it gets there. So, I've only been waiting 72 hours. No, it's 4 weeks. Crazy. Okay. So, no, I've just been playing around. I mean, I've been playing around with something. It's a good thing about KDP. It's free cash. It might only be a couple of dollars or a couple of pounds or whatever here and there. But if you sell 20 books and it's worth great. It's not too. It's money. It's there. It's not too bad. It's just a bit. Something's better than nothing,
Exactly. It's not putting yourself in a position of saying I can't make anything. No, you can make something. You can do something. It's just putting yourself into that position. And sometimes it's who you know. Because I know earlier on, Fraser talked about Zakia, and Zakia, her and I love Zakia. We have been literally saying, I can't wait for the pandemic to be over so that way we can connect again. Because she's in PA, she's in Philly, and I'm in Maryland. And we're maybe about 45 minutes apart. But we've been another person that I've been connected with virtually. And we've been connected for several years. And I've watched her process. I've watched some of the things that she's been able to do. And then she just she did an interview with Fraser. What was that, yesterday?
This last yesterday, did it on the Genuine Coach. That's what it was, the title.
Yes. Yes, I loved that topic because for so long I've been trying to tell people, listen, it ain't all it's cracked up to be. You really need to pay attention to what's going on out here in the industry when it comes to coaching. So that part, if you have not checked it out, make sure that you go and connect with Fraser. Hats.tv, connect with Fraser Ramsey. Yeah, right there. Make sure that you go and check out some of his live streams. And he's also, again, another podcaster, Ramsey Unleashed. And another thing, and this is why I said this was a perfect person to have on during this topic, also launched Midwave Radio.
I know that's been the brick walls in my head. I'm trying to get over in my head. I've been I've started something. I admit it's a challenge. I'm hitting brick walls in my head, but I'm determined to get through them at some point. It might take a bit longer than expected, but yeah, we've all been through stuff. You do something and yeah, it's I just have
It's
to
a
say that
process.
it's a process. It's brutal sometimes. It's just it can once you get it done or figure it out, it's like a jigsaw, and it's like trying to fit everything in the right place. And it's been I have to yeah, I have been hitting my head off a brick wall sometimes with it, but it will eventually get there. Just sometimes slow. If it's slowly, hey, I'll get there. If it'll happen eventually. Just
And
gotta keep pushing.
the thing about it is too, it's when we think about what you're doing with Mint Wave Radio, and you're bringing together podcasters from all over the world. For so many, they're like, oh, how do I get into a podcasting community? How do I get support? How do I get information? Who do I connect with? Well, you connect with other podcasters. You put yourself in the room to be amongst the conversation. You put yourself on platforms where you're going to be celebrated, and your content will be, put out there into the world. That is significant in the podcasting industry, in the speaking industry, in the author industry. It's about collaboration, reciprocity, networking. As you see, Fraser's in Scotland. I'm in the US. Networking, collaboration, and we came together on Periscope. A moment of silence, because we know that they are supposed to be shutting down in March, right? We met on Periscope, and then got to meet in person when he came to the States and was meeting everyone that he had connected with. Like, you do not know what one decision, you don't know where it will take you until you go ahead and execute on that decision. I absolutely love it.
The joys. How are you enjoying Haps, by the way? You liking it?
I love the platform. So those of you that don't know, we're currently using Haps.tv. You see me being able to have Fraser on the screen with me. And I've seen 3 people on the screen, but I think I was told that there could be more too. But I haven't seen anybody with more than, no, I've seen somebody with 4 people, I think. Mm-hmm. But that was the most that I've seen so far.
They're changing their interface stuff behind the scenes, because obviously there's the influx of people coming in from Periscope, so that's what they're doing to make it better. It will be, hopefully in a few weeks, it'll be pretty solid. So,
which is pretty crazy when you think about it, because Periscope, let's be honest, y'all, Periscope was the first platform for live streaming. And here it is, they're shutting down, and all of these other platforms are like skyrocketing. I knew live streaming wasn't going anywhere when LinkedIn started allowing us to live stream on the platform. And everybody LinkedIn is just dry.
There's a lot. The good thing about this is, the good thing about this platform, it's monetized, which is a bonus. It's already pretty straight. It's already set up for anybody. So the more kind of stuff you put out there, the more you can gain. Obviously your content can be monetized pretty quickly.
Yes, yeah, that's the other piece of it, because there were so many things that behind the scenes, when it came to trying to monetize Periscope and some of the other platforms, it really didn't pan out for many people. I see some people who are in the comments. So Shadell said, Happy New Year, Altavis and Fraser. Kenesha said, hello, Altavis and Fraser. Shalonza, hey sis. She reiterated, is this the plan God gave me or someone else's plan? Most definitely, sis. Thank you, Braylon, for sharing out the broadcast. I appreciate you for checking it out. Guys, when we look at where we can go for 2021, the only thing holding us back is us. The only thing that is holding you back is you. That's it. Get in the right communities. Make sure that you're actually showing up and executing. And guess what? You're going to see some things change. You are going to see some things change. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much, Fraser, for joining me this morning. As we wrap up, guys, remember, we got to get back to trusting ourselves so that way we can execute at this higher level. so that way we can go ahead and get some things done. If you haven't done so already, get the book, get the ebook, bit.ly/The Purge ebook. Get the book. It comes with the audio and video download. Get those as well, so that way you can go ahead and clear out and make space. And don't forget, your challenge today is to go throw away those old manuals that you don't no longer need, because you already been using the stuff. You trust yourself enough to go ahead and get rid of those manuals. Frazier, before we go, let them know where they can find you at, and then also how they can find your books.
You can find me. My podcast is just type in Ramsey Unleashed. It's the same spelling as Gordon Ramsay, but Ramsey Unleashed. I've not really done much lately, but you'll find stuff there. Previous episodes, books, Amazon. There's one called Creating the Prayer Habit. There's the simple journal. It's the Self-Employed Financial and Goals Planner. So if you're self-employed and you want it, it's got quite no bad interior for just planning. I've done a few. What else have I done recently? Oh, crumbs. I can't remember off the top of my head because I'm not still in front of me. But anyway, there's books there. Just type, you'll find me under my name, Fraser K. Ramsey. But you'll just find the books. You'll be okay. But also, what else? I mean, you'll just find me on Facebook and Twitter. You'll get me if you want to be interviewed or just about come in haps and have a blather and talk about something. We can see what kind of content. I actually got over 500. I actually got over 500 views on that interview I did with Zakia last night. I was like, I got the message. I thought, good grief! So my goodness, it must have been pretty good.
Y'all were going in, and it was some great content. I saw Do is in the comments as well. We connected with her over on Periscope. Hey, Do.
Hey, Heather. Hey, go ahead.
But yes, it was great content. I was sitting there and I was tuned in, and then I had to pause it, and then I'm gonna have to go back and re-listen to it again because it was a great conversation when it comes to where the coaching industry really has gone over the last few years, because we've seen a boom in coaching, like life coaches, business coaches. We've seen a boom in coaching, but just because there's a lot of people doing it doesn't mean everybody's doing it right.
Yeah, aye. That's what I think it's because she got stung by somebody royally, and it kind of hence the reason we didn't want somebody to be stung or go through the same stuff, by finding somebody who's just taking a minute. Yeah, I'll take you on but I'll employ you as my coach, but then they kind of go away and take all their clients or whatever customers' ideas and make the cash and basically pretty much that was I think it's just more the fact is I think you went down a road and you moved away and we're not saying any names of that you've realized a lot as well, and you do get a lot of kind of you can make 6 figures in about 3 days or 3 minutes and you go right, okay. Hi. What do you have to do that?
Exactly. And it's it goes right along with what we were talking about today, because once we have that happen, we got to trust ourselves again to say, okay, every person is not going to be like that person. Mm-hmm. What is it that we really need? Because sometimes we were a bit overzealous and saying yes to it. Like, what did we say yes to that we should have said no to? Yeah. What did we say no to that we should have said yes to? And it's a process. It's a growing process. Like, there's nobody in business that jumps into business and had it all figured out on day one.
Exactly. You just, I think you do. I mean, you probably notice that you get a lot. It's like it's scripted. It seems a lot scripted kind of coaching, if you know what I mean. And it's like, did you just get that, print it off on Google or something, and did you just read it off? It's like one of these call centers. It's just a scripted. Have you had an accident in the last 2 years or something? What do you mean? Do you know if I had an accident? I haven't had an accident. So, but it's kind of those phone calls, scripted phone calls you get. It just seems a bit scripted, and they go right, okay, and it's almost right, okay, aye. So, but it's what they say on paper. It's what they seem to say, and then behind the scenes, it just goes to goes to pot, and
Exactly.
uh,
It doesn't line up.
it doesn't. I mean, it's difficult. It's a difficult one. I think
It doesn't line up.
I know.
At
It's like, well, 2 plus 2 makes 6. You know what I mean? So it's great. So it's yeah, I can do this for you, but it makes 6. So how'd you come up with that? So so yeah, it is a bit bonkers, but yeah, it's more just to highlight that if you are needing somebody who to coach you in a way, simply to have references or somebody, or have at least they know what they can and can't do, and it's genuine. And if they are there, there's all the confidentiality, especially between customer and client or coach or whatever. That you're kind of just making sure that you're getting what they're giving you is what they're giving you, and you're paying for it. You know what I mean? And if you're not just saying what says in the tin, but they're not just sort of going, oh yeah, I can do this, but behind the scenes they're bogus. You know what I mean? So just and I mean, I can see what Alvisa's built up from Periscope, and she's come a long way, and she's realised, she keeps it straight down the line. She's had her own struggles, ups and downs, from being homeless to basically quitting her job to being standing on her own and having her own team. So it doesn't happen overnight, and it's a hard grind. It doesn't, and during this pandemic, it's been blooming hard for everybody. So it's just gotta stick in there, as much as it frustrates the hell out of us, but just gotta keep going.
Yeah, that's definitely an important piece. Is that consistency? Yeah. You can't give up. It's going to get difficult sometimes. It's going to be times where, again, that battle of trusting yourself. I'm not just telling you something I heard. I'm telling you something that I've had to deal with. And getting back to being able to trust yourself that you can be successful. Trust yourself that you can make the money that you said you wanted to make, that you can, help the people that you said you wanted to help. It makes such a huge difference. Makes such a huge difference. So that part is very valuable. So I appreciate you, Frazier. Thank you for everything that it is that you do. When it comes to being that connector for people, when it comes to being that support, I appreciate it. I would not be on the Hacks.tv app without you.
If you go outside and it's quite windy outside, just take off with those earrings. You'll start flying.
I love my earrings, Frazier. I love my big earrings. Actually, I need to connect with you to see if there's any, some nice earring, because I know that you guys, because I still have my unicorn shirts, but I want to see if y'all got a nice size unicorn earring, because everything I find here is small, like little unicorns. But we'll talk off camera. Because I also want to get some soaps from you too.
Me? Oh, for crumbs! You probably better with Zakia. She may have better.
Wait, did you say? Well, I want to support you. Well, then I'll get a book.
Oh well, I'd rather you buy a book. Actually, I'd be better. If you buy one of my if you'd rather you buy a book, that'd be better. Right.
Okay, I'll buy a book then.
Buy a book instead, because you might like. I think if you like it, you can more chance of flogging it. You know what I mean? It's easier to order off Amazon than it is for me to send you soap. Aye.
Not a problem at all.
Buy a book, that'll be better. It's easier because it means because you can get it on .com. It's quite a lot of them. It's on Amazon.com and .co.uk. So you'll find it. It's just even if it's creating the prayer habit, it's not a thick book. It's not too bad. It's actually not that. It's about, I think it's about $6 or something. I don't know. I can't off the top of my head.
Okay.
But it might be quite. I think there's the self-employed one as well. But yeah.
Yeah, I thought I had Zakia's book too, but I think I'm gonna have to reorder hers too.
Yours over there.
Yeah. I promise you, I swore I had Zakia's book, and when I went to look for it, I was like, I don't know. Y'all know I do the purge at the beginning of the year. I might have purged and sent it to somebody else who may use it. So I definitely want to make sure I go back and support. Y'all know it's all about supporting each other.
Yeah, it's like the books, right? I'm just trying, as I say, I'll try and create a way and see what happens, and people. You know what I mean? So
Yes,
that's pretty
indeed.
much.
Yes, indeed. So
Anyway,
I appreciate
yeah.
you guys. You guys, thank you for all of the views, all of the reactions. We appreciate you, but most importantly, make sure that you take action. bit.ly/The Purge ebook is how you get the Purge ebook in order for you to join us for the first quarter in doing this purge. Make sure that you tap in, get it. It comes with a download, 2 downloads. One is a video, one is an audio. That will help you get through this whole purge process. Because guess what? We got to make room. Remember, don't forget, you got a challenge today. Go and get rid of those old manuals that you don't need no more. You guys have a great one. And until next time, don't forget to press it out. See ya.
Easy.